Hi, I'm Mike McNamara. I'm a board member with a 28 unit building, and we're on our third year working with Connected. We met with folks from Connected. They came by, gentlemen came by, gave us a presentation, sat down with us, listened to what our needs were, and laid out a solution. And we talked to a couple other management companies as well, and we decided to go with Connected, and we couldn't be happier. Obviously, we're on our third year, and we plan on being here for a long time with Connected. I'd recommend them highly to anybody. The interesting thing about me is I own a few rental units in some other buildings, so I have experiences with other boards, and so I've been around some management companies where the last thing you ever want to do is have to call the management company and deal with them, because it's like a root canal, and with Connected, it's the first thing I want to do is talk to Stephanie or Paul, the people at Connected, because one, I have to always check in with them and be like, is it okay that I asked you to do this? Is it okay that I'm asking you to put in all this extra time? And Stephanie always says, yep, that's what I'm here for. Yep, that's what I'm here for, which is, for me, exactly what I want to hear. I know that if I need to lean on Connected, or it's, other times I would feel bad with other management companies. I know with Stephanie and everyone at Connected, if I say, I need that invoice from a few months ago, can you send it back to me? I just want to make sure and see exactly what we paid for. Or do you have any recommendations for snow shoveling services or anything? It's bam, bam, bam. And it's detailed, and it's almost immediate, and it's service with a smile too. It's just friendly people. The best thing is I feel like they care about our building, which means a lot to me, and that's the kind of people that I want working with us. So that's what we found with Connected, and we're real happy about it. I would say our biggest need was in our finances. They were a shambles. We didn't know what bills we were paying, when we were paying them. Our record keeping was terrible. And so when we brought Connected on board, they tightened all that stuff up. And very quickly, we built a trust with them. Like, okay, these guys are going to whip us into shape. They're going to keep our bills getting paid on time. And the other nice thing is, if they see a way where we can lower our expenses in a particular area, they're going to suggest it. And, our board, it's 5 people. None of us do this for a living. So to have a professional kind of making those suggestions and actually keeping us on point. We'll get an email once in a while from Connected being like, hey guys, we need to get on top of these finances here. Or have you looked at these finances yet? We need to make some decisions on some of these different things. Connected keeps us in line. They keep our finances on point. And the best thing is they make it so we can kind of focus on the rest of the issues that we have with the building and with the community and let Connected handle it. But if any time we want to step in and just say, hey, can you show us how are things going with our bills? Or, where are our expenses? Can they be better? They're right there for us. And there's this kind of immediate transparency whenever we need it. In our building, we dealt with some serious stuff. We had foreclosures. We had a squatter, someone that was staying in this unit, and we didn't know when he was going to leave. We didn't know how to make him leave. We didn't know what was going on. We had a lawyer that we were paying a truckload of money to answer these questions for us, but Connected and Stephanie, who works with our building, would give us a second opinion. And, she'd always say, I'm not a lawyer, but this is my past experience. This is usually how this goes. And that was invaluable, because then we could kind of see what was coming forward with some of these really, really tough situations. We had an infested unit in our building. We had one woman abandon her unit. Well, what do we do with this? Like I said, we're not professionals. And we brought a lawyer into it, but then we also had Stephanie and the folks at Connected to say, well, this is what you want to ask the lawyer. Well, this is kind of how I've seen it go in the past. So that if the lawyer and what Connected was saying didn't quite match up, well, then we were able to compare, and it really empowered us through these really, really tough issues that we were having to deal with. Not to mention really tightening up all our finances, keeping all that day-to-day really, those really important items right on point. I would say one of the biggest benefits that we had with Connected was time savings. Before this, we would have to meet, talk about all these bills, talk about all the different units. Are they up to date on their condo assessments? They're not. Well, what do we do? Well, how do we deal with Steve, who hasn't paid his assessments in 6 months? How do we deal with this person that hasn't paid their assessment from last month? Well, what about these bills? Are they getting paid? What's happening to them? We were able to save all of that time. We basically turned all that over to Connected, and they said, great, that's what we're here for. And we were able to focus on, one, our own personal lives and doing what we have to do so we can make a living and keep paying our mortgage. And then two, just focusing on all the other items and all the other issues with our community and everything with the building. I have to tell you, I am a skeptical person. I am not a pushover. I really hold people to task. And when we brought on Connected, I will say, I was definitely one of the ones that were like, okay, we've heard the pitch. Okay, we'll give them a couple months. And I was extremely vigilant in making sure that everything went the way it was supposed to. And now here I am recommending them 2.5 years later. I don't recommend a lot of things. And I've worked with other boards where I had a rental unit, or basically a unit that I lived in that I couldn't sell because of the market, where I was renting it out. And I wouldn't recommend those other management companies. In fact, I would love to not recommend them, but I'm not going to get into it. So I'm just telling you, Connected has been great to us. It's been 3 years. I can very confidently recommend them to you. They're going to save you a bunch of time. One, they're good people. They're honest. I trust them. And that's the biggest thing, is trust, because we're basically working with them on all of our finances. And that trust is there, the customer service, all of it. I'd really recommend Connected, and I hope everything's going well with your condo building.